Give us a sense of how soon this can happen and what Singapore needs to see for phase 3 to be expedited.
Good morning, Aslinda. I think phase 3 is really another step in our process of striking that balance between economic opening up whilst ensuring the health and safety of our population in response to the pandemic. So far, we have made considerable progress, and our numbers are low, and that's been achieved because of tremendous sacrifice and hard work on the part of our people, our businesses, and in general government agencies and so on. So we don't want to squander this, gains that have been, secured through significant effort. So in looking at phase 3, our objective is really to see how we can do further calibrated opening of our economy, whilst putting in the measures to ensure the safety and health of our population. So key to that will be investment and ramping up of our capabilities in testing and also in tracing. Because if we have that, then it gives us the ability to, even if there is or there were to be an incident, to be able to quickly identify it and isolate those who are affected by it. And that will then be complemented by treatment capabilities, which we have been building up certainly over the last 6-7 months. And ultimately, of course, when vaccines become available, they become an important part of that overall solution.
So having said that, Minister, what are the next steps for the government in terms of testing, in terms of vaccine?
Well, I think with vaccines, as we all know, there are various candidates in development. And I think our interest is to make sure that when a vaccine is available and after all the clinical trials have been concluded and safety and efficacy proven, then we will want to ensure that we have access to vaccines as well. But importantly, I think it is not the whole solution must include testing and tracing capabilities and the capacity to do so. Because if you're thinking about the movement of people cross-border and within the economy, etc., that gives us, and especially rapid testing capabilities with large throughput and quick turnaround times, this will give us an added degree of flexibility in the way one can go about thinking about opening up more parts of the economy.
Minister, the pandemic continues to put pressure on Singapore's economy, set to shrink 6.5% this year. What could change your mind about prospects for 2021?
Well, firstly, from an economic forecast point of view, certainly for this year, our Ministry of Trade and Industry has forecast between a 5 to 7% contraction, which is a profound contraction for our economy, as it has been the case for economies around the world. Our focus in terms of the economic strategy is two things. The first is focusing on overcoming the immediate challenges of COVID and helping our businesses and our people overcome them. So that means providing assistance to businesses where they need it to manage the costs. For example, we've had job support schemes and job growth incentive. All of these are really designed to help businesses on the one hand manage their costs, but also create jobs for our people. So managing the short-term challenge is one, but we're also keeping our eye on the longer term in terms of the capabilities and the capacity of our economy. And this is where investment in capacity building and in our infrastructure is key, whether it's digital infrastructure, whether it is in terms of the ability of our businesses to do more things online, in other words, digitalize their business. These are important parts of our longer term strategy because we see that as an important, if not a pivot, then certainly a significant movement in that direction.
It is highly dependent on trade. What trade relationships are important right now?
We've concluded the EU-Singapore FTA, and that continues, and that together with our portfolio of free trade agreements, we've got about 25 free trade agreements. I think they've all been contributing, not just in terms of the bilateral value that each trade deal provides, but also the network value that it provides for Singapore and our partners. So we've seen many partners want to do business with Singapore and maybe even locate some of their regional headquarters here because of that network effect of our FTAs. And the way we are taking that forward is on two fronts. in terms of staying open and being connected, which we think is key in this, perhaps even more so in this pandemic and post-pandemic environment. One way we are doing that is working on more trade deals. So the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, reviewing of ASEAN's trade in goods agreement and other ASEAN agreements with partner countries. This is one major effort. But the other is in the new domain, like the digital economy. This we think is key because we've seen this major migration. Some would say that many years of digital migration have been compressed into a matter of weeks and months. And our objective is to make sure that we have digital trade agreements, in other words, what we call digital economy agreements, and norms that are internationally established in order to facilitate that evolution of the digital economy.